talked about last week. Are they going to hit? Kike did finally get a single today to drive in a run, which was big, but then he also struck out trying to hit a 3-run homer with nobody on base in the 9th inning. It's frustrating, and to have the near nothings at the bottom of the lineup in Barnes and Taylor and Rojas when they're in the game, and Pages too a lot of the time. That is something that I'm not worried about the big guys. I do think the Dodgers are going to have to address several of these other guys.
Yeah, there's just, obviously it hasn't even been, it's been 18 games. Like, they're not going to do anything after 18 games. But if we're sitting here after 30, maybe 40 games, and some of these guys haven't gotten it going, I don't know if the Dodgers will do something, but it'll definitely have me thinking a little bit more, just because, age does play a factor. I saw someone say Mookie Betts' bat speed is down a little bit, but it was also down last year from the year before, and he was pretty good last year. So I'm not worried about the big guys, but yeah, if the bottom half of the order doesn't figure it out, then there's definitely some genuine concern, and the Dodgers will have to do what they didn't really want to do, either make some moves or call some guys up. So yeah, but the bullpen didn't fare as well either. We're going to get into that and talk about the starting pitching, which did fare very well and was the main reason the Dodgers had a chance to win on Sunday and won on Friday. So we'll get into that. So make sure to keep it locked on Dodgers. Today's episode is brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. If you're looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious, crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. And they're packed with fiber and better for you and saturated fats to help you feel fuller longer. I normally have a bag of Wonderful Pistachios here, but I finished them over the weekend, so I will put my hand up and pretend there is a bag there. And by next episode, I probably will have a bag, because Wonderful Pistachios are the true snack that gets it going, and can be used on the go, at home, at a Dodger game, wherever it is. They got the shelled version, the non-shelled version. They got different flavors. There's a lot of different things for you to check out with Wonderful Pistachios. So make sure to go check it all out and get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. I want to thank you for being an everydayer. If you are one, and everydayer is just someone that listens or watches every day. And we appreciate those of you that make us your first or last listen of the day. Probably last listen here, as it is Sunday at 9 p.m. First listen if you're listening the next morning on Monday when you're on the way to work or wherever it is. So we appreciate you. And find us where we have podcasts and on YouTube. Subscribe both areas. We are getting a little bit more into the YouTube world, so make sure to subscribe there and stay up to date with all our post-game commentary and other commentary that goes on beyond just the live shows. So, Jeff, let's talk about the bullpen real quick before we get into the positive thing from the weekend, which was the starting pitching. The bullpen was fine on Friday because the Dodgers didn't allow any runs. Yoshinobu Yamamoto went 6, Kirby Yates, Blake Trinan, and Tanner Scott all did their jobs. And then Saturday, the 16-0 score is jarring, but what people may not know if they didn't watch the game is that the score was 1-0 heading into the top of the 6th inning, and the score was just 2-0 heading into the top of the 7th inning. So it was a breakdown of the bullpen, and Ben Casparius was the one that had the bulk of it. He ended up giving up 7 hits and 6 runs, just the one strikeout. A bad day for him. I guess before we get into just bullpen specifically, a lot of people were mad that Dave Roberts, kind of like Ben Casparius, didn't go for the win, or didn't go for the at least attempt to slow down the scoring on the Cubs side.
Yeah, and I understand why people are upset. I disagree with them a lot because the fact is, they were already down 1-0. Casparius, he gave up the run in the 6th, so it's 2-0. But they're kind of counting on him in that situation to go multiple innings. As we've talked about, he is a 2-inning guy these days, and having just used their top 3 relievers the night before, they needed to get 2 innings from Casparius, or that was their hope. And so they sent him back out for the 7th. He gives up a run, maybe then you could start thinking, oh, maybe he just doesn't have it tonight. Well, at that point, you're down 3-0. Your offense hasn't done anything that night. You can't really play for the win when you're down 3-0. You kind of have to. And so really the options were leave Casparius in or bring in Luis Garcia. And eventually they did bring in Luis Garcia, and he was terrible too, and so it's not like, I mean, if they had gone to Tanner Scott or Kirby Yates, then they still would have lost 3-0, and they would have burned those guys. Now, Sunday's game ended up, you didn't need those guys, but there was a very real chance that the Dodgers could have needed those high leverage guys on Sunday. It's the nature of the long season, something that Dave Roberts has always been pretty good at in the regular season, at playing like it's a long season. And some people call it punting a game. And, it's not quite punting the game. Obviously, once Rojas came in, they had punted. Realistically, once Luis Garcia came in, they had punted, because at that point it was 7-0. But overall, having Kasperius in there, who's been excellent this season, that's the first time he's allowed any runs this year, has very good stuff, has pitched really well. It was just a really bad night for Kasperius, combined with a bad night for the offense, and then that just snowballed into, well, let's let Luis Garcia do his thing, and then let Miguel Rojas play games on the mound for a couple innings. And ultimately, my main thought in that game was, well, I don't care if we lose 16-0 or 1-0. It's one loss in the standings.
Yeah. Once it got to 3-4, 5-0 and Kasperius, like at that point, it wasn't like he was pitching terribly. He did get through that, he gave up one run in that first inning. And then you're kind of in a weird spot right there. And you know what? It didn't go your way. And you had all your arms for the next day. Unfortunately, on Sunday, even with all those arms, Blake Trinan came in and gave up a run to get the loss. Alex Vesia came in and he ended up giving up a run. So, Jeff, with the bullpen, I don't know. I feel like we talked about the bullpen a lot. I don't think there's a genuine concern. If you guys watch us, follow us, you'll understand that there's not a lot of genuine concern. But with that said, yeah, what are your thoughts on the bullpen?
I'm excited that eventually Evan Phillips and Michael Kopech will be back. I am looking forward to Luis Garcia not being on the roster. I think with Kasperius, it was just a bad night. And other than that, Luis Garcia, we saw Jack Dreyer pitch. He pitched pretty well tonight. It gave up a leadoff triple and then got out of it with a couple strikeouts. Like that was a big inning for Dreyer. All in all, yeah. Relievers, there's a reason that it's really notable when a reliever has an ERA in the low ones, because even relievers give up runs, and it just so happens that sometimes when one of your best relievers gives up runs on a night that your offense isn't scoring, it feels like the bullpen is a big issue. But overall, especially with the guys who are coming back, I feel fine long-term about the bullpen as long as they can stay healthy.
Yeah, update on that bullpen real quick. Evan Phillips pitched on Friday. He's still progressing. They want to get him on a back-to-back before he gets back up here, but probably a couple weeks away. With Michael Kopech, Dave Roberts did say he's a ways away, so that's not ideal. He did get asked about Edgardo Henriquez on Friday as well, and he said he didn't really have an update, so I don't think Edgardo Henriquez is coming back anytime soon either. That's the update on that. Clayton Kershaw is expected to make a rehab start on Wednesday. Dave Roberts said OKC, but then he also said, actually, I'm not sure. So it could be Rancho. They're both at home on Wednesday, so it's going to be one of those two. Gonsolin pitches again on Tuesday, and they want to build them up to like 5 innings before they bring them back. So at least probably 2 more starts there. But there are reinforcements slowly but surely coming back. Well, I'm sure we'll get a Blake Snell update. He's supposed to throw on Monday, I believe, for the first time. So maybe we'll have a little bit of an update on tomorrow's episode. But yeah, I mean, it was a bad inning by Kasperius. That really overshadowed it because trying to give up 1 run, Vesey gave up 1 run. That's not ideal, but the Dodgers also didn't score against the Cubs bullpen, and the offense can help out the relievers sometimes as well. So.
Yeah, that's the best way to help your relievers is give them 6-run leads to protect for a while, give them some low stress innings.
Yeah, so we were going to talk about starting pitching. We didn't get into it, but let's finish off the episode with some positivity. Starting pitching's been good. The upcoming 3 days are going to be good, and maybe the rest of the schedule in April, so we're going to get into that. So make sure to keep it locked on Dodgers. Today's episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Yeah, that happens sometimes. Between dining out, online shopping, Dodger tickets, it's easy to lose track, and that's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center where you can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. If you start using Monarch Money, you might find out how much you're spending on food delivery or on something else like, I don't know, Dodger tickets or hats or whatever it is. And now you can budget smarter and save more. And if you have someone that you share finances with, that makes it easy